All right. Hey, folks, we're live. I'm your host, DashV, and we've got a special treat for you today. Literally, Jeremy and I are going to be taking part in some special treats, some special beef jerky that he had made up. He'll talk a little bit
Kind
more.
of special jerky. It's hot. Maybe one of them has weed in it. We'll find out.
Oh man, electric beef jerky. So, but it's also special because Lizzie, 2 episodes in a row.
It's also special because Chris had a special delivery this week.
I did.
Special delivery this week.
I'm not following you.
Your pinball machine.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Yes, I did actually. Well, here's the deal, right? Like, I figured after 2 full episodes of me just talking ad nauseum about this pinball machine that people would probably be like just sick as hell of hearing about my pinball machine. So yes, I did. I got the pinball machine. It's been pretty fun. There were a couple of issues with it. I got number 21 out of 1,000. They're only making 1,000 of the limited edition, and I got one of the early batches apparently. Now what's cool is since they'd had it in the factory for a while, they did get some of the updates from the supplier. One of those updates being there's a new firmware that's been released that corrects some problems with it. So so anybody, just as a public service announcement, anybody that's got an Attack from Mars remake, this only applies to the remake, and this is regardless of what edition you have. It could be standard, special, or limited. There's bugs in the initial firmware that they released that if you lower the power of some of the components like the flippers and things like that, you can actually damage the board. So the recommendation is if you don't know what version of the firmware that you have, most likely you have, unless you literally just got it last week, most likely you have version 1.0. If you're using custom settings for the power of some of the things like the flippers and the bumpers, set all that back to factory defaults for now and listen up from Chicago. What do they call themselves? Chicago Gaming Company. For an updated firmware, they'll send you a new chip and a tool to install and remove the old chip. Once you have the new one, then you can tweak and tune to your heart's delight. So,
oddly enough, you got the picture. That week, I went out with some girl and we went to a retro theme park. It's called 83 or something, and we saw the Attack on Mars. She's like, I think it's there. Sure enough, it was there. So
yeah,
she likes the same pinball as Dash, so we went there and played there.
That's pretty good. I would say she likes the same pinball games as me. Lock in those lyrics, my friend. So
then yesterday she came over and played 20 Hawk with me. Let's just say it in well for her.
Oh my god, no, come on. You got to at least let it end in a stalemate or something, right? Like let the score be even and be like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah, right.
I don't know, Lizzie.
Playing pinball together.
What would you do, right? Like let's say that let's say it was Jaleel White, right? Let's say it was one of the men of your dreams there. And you're on a date and you're playing some Sonic the Hedgehog game, right? Like would you sure, like would you give him at least one victory, or would you just be like, screw it, no, not worth it?
I'm on a date with Angela Jolie.
No, Jaleel White.
Oh my gosh, the original Sonic. No, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna show you.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I did.
Okay.
That's exactly what I did yesterday.
Even if it meant no second date.
We're more than we went like 3 or 4 dates. So.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, man. I had to protect my pride as a Sonic fan. I mean, if I'm good at a game, I have to show you.
Oh, sure, but I mean, what I'm saying is, after you've kicked his ass a couple of times, give him at least like one like token victory that doesn't look like you gave it to him, just so that like feels it like
I'm too competitive for that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fine, but you owe me.
Well, if he knows that you let him win, right? Then it won't. It'll be a hollow victory. So Lister's mate says that he has to say that all 3 of us look really nice on his 40-inch Samsung Smart TV.
So before we get to
thank you so much, Lister's mate. Although I have to say, a little bit bummed that it's not a 40-inch Roku TV. I'm just kidding. Full disclosure, I work for Roku, so.
And they don't advertise for us, so that's why I don't give them a shout out.
No,
So
but actually, so listeners, you're watching us on the YouTube plug-in there on your Samsung Smart TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's true. Um, let's see. Listeners Mate also said earlier before the show started, he saw the title of our show, which includes beef jerky. And fans of a certain game, which I'm going to announce in a few more moments, will kind of get the play on words for tonight's show name. I named it Under Night Beef Jerky Exe Hot Est. So, so
That sounds like a U porn name.
it does, right? But you'll see the game that it came from,
Lizzie.
Lizzie, but
As a
he said
gentleman, I
that-
don't watch that type of stuff.
yeah, I can honestly say I don't watch pornography.
Me either.
But
You'd be surprised what you find on Google.
listeners made listeners. I didn't say I didn't read books. I just said I don't watch films. Anyway, he says I can't eat beef jerky. It's bad for my teeth. The last time I ate some, I broke a tooth, and it's looking like I might need to get a crown sometime soon. That is a pretty deep price to pay, right? So for eating beef jerky, I could see why you'd steer clear. He also clarifies that he does have a Roku hooked into his Samsung Smart TV. So I feel a little better knowing that your Samsung Smart TV can only be made whole by plugging in a Roku player. That just warms my heart to hear.
Wow.
So,
well, it's kind of sad to hear from y'all. I mean, I'm from Texas. Beef jerky is like recommended on our diet.
So spicy beef jerky or just regular beef jerky?
All of them.
Yeah.
Well, this is Texas. Where do you think beef jerky came from? We have all of them. Teriyaki, original.
I thought Donald Trump's
super...
Tex-Mex restaurants made beef jerky. I thought that's where that came from.
No, that's fake white people stuff, man. You want the real stuff.
Trump says he loves Hispanics.
Sure he does.
He tweeted it, so it has to be true.
No, man, you gotta eat real Mexican food, not that.
I think we should move on to the beef jerky and keep off politics.
So I will say before we get to the beef jerky though, right? So I mentioned the play on words with the title of the show, but there actually is a game called Under Night In-Birth Exe (late bracket ST). I'm not crapping you. That is like the name of the game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So somebody, I don't remember who told me, but somebody was telling me that in Japan, within some circles and everything, they just really like the sound of certain American words. And so there's a lot of effort, from what I understand, went into this name because to a Japanese person, this just sounds really cool to say. Even though like here in America, it's like I literally have no clue what the hell this game is trying to tell me it's about. So anybody that does know what this game is about, this is actually a pretty badass fighting game. And by badass, I mean, if you remember games like Marvel vs. Capcom, like the side scroller before they went 3D, if you remember games like, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, Champion Edition and things like that, this game is like a love letter to those games. This is it's a 2D fighting game. And it's all hand-drawn animation and things like that. And it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Also, the game has some pretty tongue-in-cheek humor. I'm not going to claim to fully understand it, but one of the characters that I was playing as, because there's a PlayStation 3 game of almost the same name, it just doesn't have the ST. So this is literally like the special championship edition of the Under Night In-Birth series. If you want to think of it that way, but there's a character that I played in the PS3 version of this that most of her cutscenes deal with her talking about how we just need to get this fight underway and get it over as quickly as possible because it's kind of sketchy and unknown whether or not she's legally allowed to be in the game due to copyright issues, etc. So she just wants to get through this stuff as quickly as possible before the lawyers come in and say you can't fight the next battle. So, and it's like, it's just like super hilarious how it breaks the fourth wall like that. Like one of the characters knows that they're in a game. They know that they don't belong in this game, that they're actually from some other game that I've never played. And, that they actually wrote that in as part of the story, which is pretty ridiculous. But the fighting is really good, really fast paced. Again, like if you really loved, I felt like when I was playing the non-ST version of this game for PS3, I felt like I was discovering Street Fighter 2 again for the first time. That's really how I felt. So it was just kind of really neat. So I'm looking forward to ST and seeing what that adds. So I can read you the description and then we'll move on to the next topic. So, but I just want to prove that like the description gives you no additional value, right? So, Hollow Knight, a supernatural phenomenon that only occurs during a red full moon. At its center is the abyss, which draws in-births craving power to it by generating an infinite number of EXS. Regardless of their purpose, ambition, or desire, they find their battle to seek out the abyss now unfolding. I literally have no clue what the hell I just read. But it's a great fighting game. You should check it out.
Okay.
So, let's move on to Jerky before we go more into fighting games.
Yeah. And then after that, we'll go back to fighting games, but in a different vein.
So, Chris, you got 2 regulars. So, you want to try those first?
I got one says hot and one says hotter.
Well, try the regular first.
Oh, you want me to try the regulars?
Yeah, work your way up.
Now, so help me God. Did you? Because these are labeled in marker, like literally, like.
Well, that's how mine are marked.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, these are legit marked, right? You're not trolling me.
No, I'm not.
All right, hey Nick Quest.
Where did you get these from?
Oh, someone sent it to me, and
Oh dear.
Carolina Reaper, some have Ghost Pepper, so it's gonna be interesting.
Right.
Oh, are they homemade or are they like?
Yeah, they're homemade.
Like someone took out. Oh, those are the best.
All right, this one's pretty good.
I said these ones shouldn't be hot. Once I start eating with you, we'll start getting hot.
It's definitely not hot. That's pretty good. I'm gonna save a little bit of the rest for later, though. All right, another one here that's labeled as normal.
Yeah,
normal. If we hear any musical flutes, I guess we'll forgive you.
Do I hear any musical flutes? What?
You'll be funny.
No. This is jerky, not beans.
No, but still, I mean, it's
all right.
Messes with the tummy.
My goodness.
Turp's on there. He says he hopes it isn't like the chip situation.
These are good. These are, don't take the as a bad. These are good. These are definitely good good jerkies there. So my throat is a little dry. This isn't, neither one of those were hot, but I want to see how long I can go with the hot ones. So I'm gonna I'm gonna have the water first.
I have no water with me right now, so this is gonna be fun for me.
Yeah, I want to see if I can go the whole show without a drink after some of these. All right, so
next one is.
Let me just finish the thing.
You hungry?
We're waiting all day for this.
I've been dying to try these, but I was good and I waited for the show. All right, so now here's the deal, right? There's multiple pieces in here. We just having one, or we having all of them?
Yeah, just one. I got my piece.
All right.
So this is hot.
I'll take. How big was it? I'll have one about roughly the same size then.
All right, ready?
All right, ready?
Go.
Listener's mate says, "Don't break any teeth."
I got a dentist appointment in 2 weeks, so good time to do it. Not bad.
That one's definitely hot, but I mean, it's a hot I can tolerate.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I'll save the other piece for later.
All right, let me get the hotter piece.
Although I got to say that one hot one does get hotter later. Like it does build slowly.
Wait till the last one.
That little aftertaste.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So this one is one big piece. How big of a piece are you gonna have?
Not big. You can go smaller though if you want.
That big?
So now you want to save some.
Yeah. So that big, good enough.
Yep. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
This one maybe, I'm worried because this one doesn't taste hot to me, which means it has to take a while to kick in.
If feel as it goes down your throat and hit your tummy and then.
This is the last one. Yeah, now it's coming in.
Oh, aftertaste.
Yeah, that one took a while to get to you, for me at least.
Lister's mate says, "Don't eat all of them, then you'll get Montezuma's revenge."
Next piece ready.
All right. Hey, Lisa. Lisa. And she can't hear me. I am thinking I'm gonna need some paper towels.
Why?
For the sweat.
Oh, sweetie.
No, that was a hot one.
That one is hot, but it's a weird hot. Can you give me some paper towels, please, my love?
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right. That one is hot, but it's a weird hot. Like it feels residually hot.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't hot. It wasn't hot while I was eating it, but now I'm like
sweating.
I feel it. So. All right. Oh my goodness. Why do I agree to do these things with you? Oh man. Okay. Now this last one, this is out of Carolina Reapers, right?
And mango. And this is actually, to me, this he said this one's the coolest, but when I tried it, I thought this was the hottest.
Okay.
Mango?
So
that's gonna be nice.
Let me see here. Let me see.
I got a smaller piece because I know better.
All right. Well, hang on. Because there's a couple pieces in here, right?
I think the sweetness.
Oh man, mine is stuck together. I'm not gonna be able to.
Rip it apart. That's why I do with mine.
Yeah, hang on.
I think the sweetness makes it spicier.
All right. Is this? Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to rip this in pieces.
You don't want a pair of scissors or a knife nearby? Yeah, that's gonna be too hot.
Okay. Is this how big you're having?
I got a small piece.
Okay, these are about roughly the same size. We'll say these are the same size.
Oh.
3, 2, 1. And that one's gonna stick back in your throat.
Well, this one definitely sticks more to the teeth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sticks more around and it's more chewy. So this one's gonna linger, like the side of my mouth that has it stuck to the teeth where I was chewing.
You're burning.
It's burning up.
My teeth are burning right now,
and I can't get it off my teeth.
But I think it's the hottest.
Hopefully, it doesn't burn the enamel off my teeth.
Wow. I think you need like a glass of milk or something. I think milk is the one that gets rid of.
Yeah, milk would do it, but I'm not. I'm gonna try to go without drinking anything. I'm gonna see how far I can make it. Oh wow. Oh wow. All right. Whoa. Wow.
I do this.
Did you really eat yours?
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, Nick Quest says drink milk. No, Nick, I'm not gonna give up.
It's weird because you took the chip better than I did. I did Beef-Jerky better than you did.
Oh wow. Woo. My wife, Lisa Vincelet, I think she created a YouTube account and logged into the chat just to laugh at me.
Let's see. She sure did, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Was it good to see you in the chat, Lisa?
She's right though. You had a better reaction now than with the chip.
I should have like smelled it first.
This is not. I will say this is not as hot as the chip.
Yeah, the chip was way hotter.
The chip was insanely hotter. The chip was like ridiculously hotter. But this is definitely hot. I mean, this is good. Woo! Also, speaking of hot, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll try to get Jeremy. Yeah. So, let's get back into this, fighting games that we remember. I mean, I talked about how this game, Under Night In-Birth, made me remember. It made me kind of feel like I did the first time that I played Street Fighter 2. For the record, I really enjoy fighting games, but it's kind of like a love-hate enjoyment of fighting games. Like,
Yes.
I appreciate the graphics. I like the variety of characters. I like learning the different combos and skills and stuff. But I hate how the AI is almost always really kind of lame and janky. You end up having to resort to like cheap, spamming of the same attacks and stuff in order to defeat them. Usually, or if you play against a person, you end up, unless you're really, really good or they're really, really terrible, a lot of the battles just end up incredibly one-sided. So I don't know. On the one hand, I really enjoy, a good fighting game, but I'm always a little bit torn because I feel like it requires me getting good to a level that I'm just not willing to put in the time and effort.
That's why I don't like fighting games.
Yeah. So,
My favorite genre is fighting games.
Yeah, especially as they started going into 3D, I think that really just added like a dimension of now I got a sidestep and front step and so. But I did enjoy Dead or Alive for more than just the physics. I really thought that the rock paper scissors kind of combat that they had, breaks, holds, and throws and that kind of thing. I thought that was very well done. But even then, it can kind of get prone to, you play online and some person just spams low kick, like, indefinitely.
Mr. Mates wants to know what you mean by janky when you say the computers are janky.
What I mean by like the computer being super cheap, like the computer being able to block like impossibly fast, the computer being able to pull off the kind of things where like they're just outside the range of where you can hit them, but they can still hit you. They will use attacks on you, like any special move. Like if you play Mortal Kombat against the AI, just about any special ability that you'd want to use, certain characters become totally useless.
Yeah.
Because the computer's just impossibly good at defending against all the special attacks. Meanwhile, like they can do anything to you that they want with a high punch, right? Because they know how to time it like just perfect.
And you can't block anything.
Yeah, and you can't really, even if you do block, right, they usually end up having ways to kind of string along the moves so quickly that you can't possibly really counteract it unless you're just spamming things and lucky.
Yeah.
Speaking of fighting games, I actually picked up one today myself. Like I said, I'm not a fighting game fan, but the two I do like are Dragon Ball Z games and Super Smash Brothers.
Awesome. So explain this one to me. So what is Dragon Ball Z? Because I did find that interesting that you picked up Dragon Ball Z, but you're not really into fighting games. So what is it about Dragon Ball Z that allows you to break that rule or have an exception to that rule?
Well, I played Budokai 2 before, and that was an incredibly fun game. And to me, it just, there's, I don't know, I guess because I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. Even as a kid, I was a Dragon Ball Z fan. So it's kind of this nostalgia, and I'll play it. But, like, the girl I'm dating right now, she's a big fighting gamer. She wants to play me fighting games. I'm like, I'm going to lose, so I don't want to play. So, yeah, I cop out.
You know what? This could totally work, though, right? What you do is play some Tony Hawk and things like that. Play those games that you're good at, right? And then when you want to even the score, right? Like, go ahead and play Mortal Kombat, play Street Fighter, play these other games.
Oh,
hey, it's totally okay. Interesting tidbit. I don't know if my wife is still in the chat, but my wife can testify that we are both incredibly competitive when it comes to gaming. And since the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, we've had to buy, even before they were like included standard, we would have to buy the third-party wireless controllers because we're so competitive. So that we would unplug the controllers on each other. By we, I might mean just me.
So, so that's your thing. I throw controllers, you unplug controllers.
Yeah. So she almost beat me in Need for Speed one time. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And so not my proudest moment. I pulled the.
Did you really?
I pulled the cord like just before she crossed the finish line, and her car like stopped like just at the finish line.
Did you really do that?
Oh, you're a punk.
Not only did I really do that because I was now granted, I want to give some perspective. We're talking like 14 years ago.
She said you unplugged your controller when I was finally winning in Need for Speed.
Yes, it is true. Now, to be clear, this was 14 years ago. we were incredibly competitive. We were just, I mean, I don't know, Lisa, what were you, 20? I was like 21, something like that, 22 by that time. I don't remember. So I think, but anyway, we were very, right, just like you said, right? Just like you said of like, hey, I wasn't going to let myself, you know, like I, I foolishly, right, considered my own pride and self-worth to be greater than my love for this woman. That said, I learned my lesson swiftly because she's never to date, she's never played a racing game with me again.
Way to go,
That's
dude.
funny.
So, and it was totally not worth it at all.
So note to self, well, I can't unplug my wireless controllers.
Right. So don't all I'm saying, so and now we'll also play Risk. And what's really interesting is I'm incredibly good at the game Risk.
She was 21, you're 25.
Yep. So Lister's Mate says, I thought both of you were immortal. I wish that was the case.
That's funny because I can't picture you doing that. That's something I would do.
You know, I did many things in my youth that I'm not proud of. So part of the way that I am now is because I've learned a lot from observing myself into how I don't want to be. So
Again, at 21, I was a dumbass too. So
yeah, I try not to repeat. I try not to repeat the same mistakes. So what was really
like, how pissed was she?
Oh, she was incredibly pissed. Like I said, she's never played another racing game with me again. I mean, we still play other games. I want to be clear. There's still other games that we play, right? Like we play Risk together. We play lots of board games and tabletop games. Like
the reason you can't do that now because everything's cordless.
yeah. Everything's wireless. So. But the other reason that I don't cheat like that is because I don't want to cheat like that. I'm totally
oh my god, I'm gonna come up with you guys to play Risk Faction with you now.
You have to. So here's the deal. My sister and brother-in-law will not play Risk Factions with us anymore.
Okay, I gotta come up to your guys' area.
They thought so my wife, my brother-in-law, and my sister all tried to team up to take me down in Risk Factions, and I ended up owning all of them.
That nice brag.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I didn't say I was the greatest ever. I didn't say I could beat anybody. I'm not saying I could beat the champion Risk player of all time. I'm just saying, like, you know, definitely when I play it, I play to try to win. Now what's really interesting is with Risk Factions, Lisa has beat me. So one of the things that I really like about Risk Factions especially is that they've got some extra modes that aren't in the original game, right? There's some additional rules in there. There's some additional abilities and stuff like that. And so there's a whole bunch of different maps beyond the standard map. But then more importantly, they have objectives. So you can actually beat the other person without actually taking over the entire map if you just accomplish enough of the objectives. The other thing is each time you accomplish an objective, you get some kind of an advantage. It could be an extra dice. It could be that you accumulate armies faster. It could be a whole bunch of things. So if you have a solid string of objectives that you're going for, and you get those, you can become unstoppable no matter who you're playing against. So it's never a guarantee that I'm going to win in that game, because of another thing that they did that I really, really liked is you can choose to have it randomly distribute your initial troop allotment across the map.
Interesting.
If I'm allowed to choose where I'm going to place stuff, game over. I will dominate. But if it's a random placement, I can't. I mean, I'm not magic. I'm not immortal, even though Lister's Mate thinks I am. I got no superpowers, so if I'm given a crap distribution of my armies all over the place, and somebody gets some really good objectives, one right after the other, I'm toast. So we like that Risk Factions allows us to, you know, kind of we
she
like
says,
this.
Remember the time you built up 100 armies on one country before you finally attacked my 5 remaining armies? Jeez.
Now there's a reason for that, actually. There is a rule that is often overlooked in Risk that if you roll 3 6s in a row, if the person defending rolls 3 6s in a row, no matter what you as the attacker roll, no matter how many armies you have, you lose.
That sucks.
You lose every army that you had invested in that battle.
Chase them a couple at a time to take them out.
Exactly. So I wasn't going to take, even though it was only 5 remaining armies, I wasn't taking any chances. The other reason, too, was in that particular game, I wanted to teach a lesson. I don't remember what the exact context was, but there's been times where like somebody tries to do like I don't mind if you're going to try to defeat me or whatever, but like don't like there were times when it was like done in such a way that it's like, okay, really, seriously, like you know that I'm like useless now, like, and I'm just like, why am I still in the game? I have like 2 armies on both these territories. There's no way I'm going to get any armies to really do anything meaningful. I'm surrounded by like 4 other territories that have 50 armies each. Please just wipe me out, and they'll leave me in the game while they go and they attack other people.
That's something I would do,
right? And so something like that, I think, had happened. And so the very next game, I knew exactly the objectives I was going to go for. I went for those objectives. I basically got her into a point where like she only had like 5 armies left on one territory, and I'm just like, every turn I'm just going to add armies and forfeit my turn, add armies and forfeit my turn, right? And I just kept doing that and doing that and doing that until like, please just finish the game, please.
Then you roll she's gonna roll 6s like 8 times in a row and take out your entire army.
Yep. But so Risk Factions, that's one of those games. I've talked about it previously. I know folks are going to be like, hey, I want to go check that out. Here's the unfortunate thing. It was a digital-only game. It was made by EA. They no longer have the Hasbro license. And so you can't really... You can't... It's been delisted. It was a PS3 and Xbox 360 game. I hope they get the license back at some point and they do a sequel. It is, I think, the best digital version of Risk I've ever played. The only problem with it was the online was a little bit wonky. If somebody quit the game, which they're most likely to do when they're losing, you lose. It counts as a loss for you. Yeah, makes like no sense.
Lisa said we can't play any of the maps but temples that lets you convert armies because it gets brutal.
Oh, yeah. You got to... check out some YouTube videos of Risk Factions. Like, really. Maybe you can still... I don't think you can still get it on Steam. I'll look it up.
I'll look it up while you do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's available on Steam. But if it is, it's definitely worth a pickup. It's definitely the best version of Risk I've ever played. And Lisa, if I'm going to lose a game of Risk, I'm happy to lose it to you. So I really... Lisa and I both...
yeah, you can still buy it on Steam.
Cool, folks, check it out. I don't think that you can get it anymore on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, or Xbox 360. But Lister's Mate says he thinks it's also on archive.org. That might be, but it sounds like it is available for purchase on Steam. So I definitely feel it's worth it. If you like the game Risk and you like strategy games, that's so far the best version that I've played. Something that Lisa and I will also do, which is kind of add some nice kind of charm to the game, is there's times where we'll both we'll pick a giant map and we'll put as many computer player characters against us as possible, and we'll like jack the difficulty all the way up, and together we'll just destroy the world. So we've done that before. So yeah, so it's all good. I think we like games that kind of exercise our, mental faculties. We like being able to show, there's a certain amount of pride that comes in with being able to like know somebody so well, right? Every now and then Lisa will do something and she's like, I knew that you were going to do this particular thing. And so I did this, as a way to kind of bait you into that. And, there'll be other times where I'll do something and she's like, ha! And then I'm like, oh, but what you didn't think about was, oh! So that whole process of one-upping each other. But I think the key thing to remember, though, is it has to be fun, right? Like, if one of the things that I look out for now that old me didn't used to look out for, and Lisa looks out for it too, is you know, if we're getting into this mode where we just have to win, right? Like if it's like we just have to be better than the other person, we'll take a break, right? Like we don't really have a need to be better than each other. And certainly we don't, even if one of us wins the game, we don't take that as like one person is like, you know, quote unquote better than the other. It's just usually down to, at this point, it's usually down to the distribution of the armies, down to the roll of the dice. There's a lot that you can do for strategy, but the only reason we haven't really played Risk Factions recently is because both of us pretty much know exactly what we're going to do. And so if it's just us versus each other, it's a bloodbath. It like I think my sister and brother-in-law thought we were going to get a divorce the last time we played Risk Factions, and so when we realized that we scared other people that badly, we decided to take a break. So
that's funny though.
it is. I wish Lisa would get into games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and, you know, Unreal Tournament and stuff like that, because that would be friggin' awesome.
I want to teach her how to play Tony Hawk and secretly teach her, so when you play her, she destroys you.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really played Tony Hawk, so I don't know that I would do. Is that the one with do you have the one with like the board and everything? Or is that a different game?
No, N64. Board's PS3, I think. Or Xbox. That's Skate, I think, if I remember right.
Gotcha. So Lizzie, you have a sister, right?
Yeah.
Have you did you ever game together?
Yes.
How competitive would you be?
Remember Battletoads?
Yeah, yeah.
God.
You know how like you can't seem to like avoid hitting each other?
Yeah.
Well, we'd always end up like dropping the controllers. I end up like jumping on her and beating the crap out of her because she ruined my game.
So you'd end up physically beating her in real life because of the game.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's why
Like when we played.
we got
Yeah.
a fist fight.
Well, yeah, like you know, like Mario 3. Like Mario 3 when you reach, you know, that one cool section
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Mario 3 where you can play together. Oh yeah, we were competitive with that. The Battletoads. I'm trying to remember like some other games that were like 2-player, but it's like Battletoads I definitely remember the most. But that's most of the game that we always beat the crap out of each other out of. I mean, I
Now,
always won because you know I was smaller.
now did you play the Battletoads for Nintendo or for Sega?
No, Nintendo back in the day was for Nintendo because she used to have a friend who lent her the game, and
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, your sister's really gonna love it, but don't play with her." And my sister played with me, and she learned why you don't play with someone. Play by yourself.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's the only game I played with her where we beat each other up. I mean, she's not really into the fighting games when she was younger. It was mostly Battletoads, or she liked to play strategy games like the NES versions. That's what she liked.
Yeah.
I sometimes found them boring, but I just watch her play. But yeah, we can't play games where it was 2-player because it didn't work out. Somehow it ended up me beating her up, or us rolling the floor beating each other up, and our parents saying, "It's just a game. What the hell is wrong with you kids?"
Sounds like my
Oh,
childhood.
you don't understand. It's not just a game. Besides, I think I got mad one time because you know the third level in Battletoads, that stupid bike thing where you're trying to avoid hitting everything.
Yeah.
Well, we almost made it to the very end, and my sister goes, down here, falls into the pit, and it was game over. I was like, "You punk!" And I dropped the controller, and I kind of like jumped on her, and I ended up beating the crap out of her.
Did you?
Because
You made it through the turbo tunnels, though, right? You made it.
yeah, that's
the descent.
yeah,
part.
you know that very last section you get to right before you hit the ramp to win.
Mhm.
She somehow missed it, And I was just mad. I was like, I am not playing with you anymore. So I never played with her again with that game. I actually beat it without her, but yeah, I was like, it was just right there, and she
Sorry,
missed.
I call BS. Don't give me Battletoads.
No. I meant that
Oh,
third
okay.
level. I can't beat the game. No. I'm talking about that third section.
Yeah.
Once you hit
Absolutely.
the
That's the
final
second one.
piece,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, you punk.
I can
So,
get to.
never.
Go ahead.
I was saying that I never played for again, but when I played by myself, I got to the next section, the ice thing, but I could never pass it. I was like, fuck this game, man. I can't get past this.
I could get to without a game genie. I
Mhm.
can legit get to the part where you're chasing the rat guy to the bomb.
Mhm.
I can get to the third spot, the third iteration of you trying to chase him down to the bottom, and then I just
Mhm.
cannot make it there in time, no matter how much I try.
I hate when people say,
Yeah.
"Oh, modern games are hard, like Dark Souls or something like that." I was like, man, you never played any of the Nintendo games because those are hard as hell.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Just
remember
enjoying this
reading.
Beef-Jerky.
Well, I remember reading an article that the games on Nintendo were not meant to be beaten by Americans. They were like when Japan made them, they weren't meant to be beaten. They were meant to be like endless. But some people can't beat them. But you're kind of like,
Well, what's the Pac-Man? It
dang.
goes to level 266 if people get there on Pac-Man.
Oh yeah. They get to the kill screen.
Yeah. I remember watching some time ago. It was like a couple years ago, and they're like, "Oh yeah, some guys can do it. Go to 266," and they never expected people to get that high, so they have a kill screen and it fails. And even then, they found how to beat the kill screen. It's like Jesus.
I'm going
Like,
back
wow,
into the. I'm going back into the hot ones, Jeremy. For the
For
record, I haven't had any water.
you'll be okay until you go to the bathroom later.
Speaking of spicy, I actually have
Yeah.
a new channel called the Newbie Pepper Grower, and I actually grow some of the super hot peppers here. So Carolina Reapers, China Scorpions, Ghost Peppers. So follow my channel. We'll see how it goes.
You're gonna make some chili?
Now, are you
Salsas.
are you showing like how you planted them and chronicling
just-
what they're?
Not that, because I literally got a camera today for somebody I'm like gunning for him. So I stopped using my phone. So he's literally sent me this camera today. I came in.
Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, just be a day-to-day progress. How the plants are doing, and once you start growing, be better videos because like, okay, this is growing well.
Right.
This is what I did. So hopefully we get some peppers this year, and I'll make some salsa, some chilies, and I'm actually gonna make some beef jerky. If everything goes right.
Fun.
Hopefully it can start growing soon. Because right now we don't have sprouting. It's been 9 days. Make me kind of nervous.
What's making me kind of nervous is, did you see that Nintendo? They were talking to their investors and everything this month, and they gave very, very little information about. I guess their online service is not going to be online until, which was originally supposed to be end of last year, right?
Then early this year, and announced early this year.
Yeah. They announced it's going to be sometime by September this year. So, they don't really know what they're going to offer yet. They're not really sure what fans are looking for and what they're going to want. But they're asking the investors to please bear with them, because they think
I don't like that.
Yeah, they're thinking that they're going to be able to figure it out. I don't know. To me, like
After they
Nintendo-
said the whole, there's no, mic jack. You use an app. I was like, this is gonna be a shit show.
It's like Nintendo. I'm going to tell you. I know I've told you a couple of times what it is I'm looking for. I just want the fucking virtual console. That's all I want. That's like literally all that I want. It's not hard. I want the virtual console, and I want to be able to upgrade some of my purchases from the Wii U to the virtual console. That's it. I don't. And if you want to do it as a subscription model instead of a buy each game, I'm even, I guess, open to that.
Just give it to me, right?
Yeah, and it's not like, to be clear, I don't feel like I'm entitled to it or any of this other stuff, but the Switch still baffles the hell out of me because it's like so ridiculously popular, but like I mean the games for it are not like revolutionary or groundbreaking by any means. In a lot of cases they're really cut down from their other console
And
counterparts.
more expensive.
And they're more expensive. They're just as digital, even though there's a card with it. A lot of these games are coming with like only part of the game on the card, or
Drives me nuts. Dragon Ball Z was like that. Or Dragon Ball. So what the hell? What's the point?
Yeah.
I might as well just download it.
Oh, exactly. Like I'm in a mode now where even though I bought like all these games in physical, I can't install any more games on my Switch until I go and buy, an expanded SD card. So that I can actually download the parts of the games that aren't on the card so I can play them.
Oh yeah, pro tip for people who want to upgrade their PS4 hard drives, don't do it.
Why not? I upgraded mine.
Does yours take forever to download shit now, or it takes forever to turn off and on?
No.
That's like my piece of shit one is.
Huh? My goodness, my friend. No, I don't know. I didn't have.
I have a 2 terabyte one. It's a 3.5, so I buy the adapter thing for it. And yeah, it's like when it loads up, it says, "Oh, rebuilding." Every time it says "rebuilding hard drive," and it does it again. It turns off.
Something bad happened, my friend. That might not be a good hard drive. You might something bad's going. No, that's not supposed to happen.
I'll take a video for you sometime. Show what it does.
Oh yeah. That means that there's drive corruption. So if that's happening regularly, there's something wrong with the drive, my friend.
Should I just reformat the stupid thing and go again?
So you could try to reformat it again. And if it still does it, I would call up the maker of the drive and try to get a replacement.
All right. I'll take a video tonight and show you what's there.
Yeah, it's definitely not supposed to do that. I've added for my original PlayStation 4 before I got the Pro. My original PlayStation 4, I swapped out the internal drive for a larger one, and for my Xbox One X, I got a USB drive.
Yeah, external.
So yeah.
So I bought a Seagate, which is pretty reputable from what I read, and yeah, it's fucking pissing me off.
Yeah, the challenge with Seagate definitely used to be quality. And they still can be, but it really depends on which division actually made the drive. A long time ago, I want to say 10 years ago, Seagate bought a company called Maxtor. And Maxtor was notorious for making cheap but very failure-prone drives. And Seagate actually bought them. And one of the things that folks were hoping was that would mean that you'd get Seagate quality at Maxtor prices. What ended up happening was you got Seagate prices at Maxtor quality. So the exact opposite.
All reviews were like 4.5 stars. I was like, okay,
Yeah. Well, and it could be. I mean,
I almost tempted to send it to you and you figure it out for me. Because you're good at that stuff.
I can't guarantee you'll get it back instantly, but in Seagate's defense, I think that they've been around long enough now to where they've probably gotten most of the Maxtor stank off of them. But still, I mean, drives, are having drives with the storage capacity that we have today is pretty much pushing some of the upper limits of technology that we have. And they really haven't come up with better ways yet to store more data in the same amount of space. So
tech guys and step your shit up.
Basically, right? Basically, only it's gotten really hard because in some cases they need to actually come up with new materials that have new physical properties that we haven't, experimented with.
That's not that hard. No.
Right. Just come on. You're creative. Like, come up with a new kind of metal. Come up with a new kind
of throw some metal. Make me a new hard drive.
Right. So I'm sure that the folks are working on it. But I guess my point is, it doesn't surprise me at the volume that they're trying to kick the drives out, like the amount of drives they're trying to kick out, and how much space they're trying to pack into the same space, how much storage space they're trying to pack into the same physical space. It doesn't surprise me that some of the error rates and some of the failure rates are higher than what they used to be. Before, things were heavily over-engineered because they were engineered to be durable and reliable. Now things are being engineered to be good enough, but feel free to make it disposable because, quote, prices are so cheap they could just buy another one, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the price that we pay for progress, I guess.
Yeah,
Notice, speaking of the price that we pay, I've eaten now all the beef jerky except for the very last one that was marked as like,
I think
oh
you
my
should
god,
show you eating it.
instant death. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty proud of myself that I went through that whole bag again without actually.
I was eating some of it too, but I haven't finished the bag yet.
I still haven't had a drink of water or anything.
See, now I have to find something else for us to eat. I was looking at Carolina Reaper salsa, but they're expensive. It was like $15 for a jar. I'm like,
Lisa says, "Eat it."
Do it. It's not to show you eating it.
So, Lisa, need I remind you that we'll be sleeping together tonight.
She says no turkey left behind. So that means
Troy, hey there, my friend. I didn't see you there. He joined in to say sick and took NyQuil. So best of luck today.
He was on last week, so make sure to check that out.
Yeah, Troy was on last week. We got a whole bunch of links in the description of that video, so be sure to check that out. So
Chris, I think you should eat it. Wrap the show up with you eating it.
You think I should wrap the show with me eating it?
Yeah.
Okay, I tell you what. Here's what I'll do. I will wrap the show with me eating this. If Lizzie will talk about the most epic fight she ever had with her sister.
I'll join you. She's on mute right now.
You're on mute, my friend. You're still on mute.
You want to take her off? She's on her phone.
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, is that
there
better?
we go. Yeah,
Smell it real quick. Smell it.
Yeah, take a big whiff.
All right, Lizzie, tell the story while we eat.
So what do you think, Lizzie?
Okay.
Story about the biggest fight you ever gotten with your sister?
Okay. When we started to play on the Sega Genesis, we played Street Fighter because Street Fighter is definitely two-player. My sister decided to watch me play first, and then she watched it, and then she decided, okay, I'll play with you. She chose that character Blanca. Well, I was Chun-Li, and basically, she told me, I bet you can't kick as hard as Chun-Li. So she dared me. She dared me to copy her moves. Yeah. And I kind of like kicked my sister, but I kind of kicked her like this.
Oh,
she went like that.
Oh, in the chin.
And she like flew back and she came at me and threw the Sega Genesis controller at me. And I got mad because, well, I use that to play Sonic. I mean, you can't do that to me. So I kind of like decided to do what Ken does. I tried to do that spin kick.
Right.
Just
the hurricane kick.
And she grabbed me and threw me over, on the couch. But the way she threw me on the couch, it kind of made the couch go back. So you hear this bump. And my parents were upstairs because it was at night. So they were like upstairs. And they started coming downstairs. And my sister was like, hurry, we have to get the couch back up. Our parents are going to freak out. So we did. But my mom like just caught us just as the couch went back up. So she looked around like, okay, so what's going on? Because she saw the mess and she saw my sister was bleeding. This whole entire time.
Oh, man.
I didn't know my sister was bleeding. She was like, what happened? Because she was bleeding like from here, like down like that. And I was like, she fell. So my mom was like, what happened? Because your father's coming. And we're kind of like, oh, shit. You know what's going to happen.
Right.
So I was like, nothing. So my sister said that she sat back. She made this bogus story that she sat back in the chair and it fell back and that something hit her in the face, which is not true. But she didn't want to see me get in trouble. But yeah.
Well, she dared you to do it. She dared you to do it. So.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you hear Daddy coming down the stairs, You're like, no, no. Yeah, I'll bet I'm like, oh, no, 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 Mom, it was my fault. I kind of fell in the chair and I kind of went like this. So she kind of hit herself. So she saved me, but she dared me to kick her just like Chun-Li. I did. And I tried to do a hurricane kick. I missed and she threw me on the couch. Couch fell back. But we helped each other out. I said, yeah, and she noticed the controller was missing. She was like, where's your Sega Genesis controller? And I realized, I don't know, because when she threw it,
Yeah.
I didn't see where it went. But apparently she threw it and it flew across the kitchen, on the kitchen floor.
Oh man.
And my mom was like, your father bought you that. Isn't that thing special for you for,
Yeah.
I go, I know, but I was like, I was like, I don't know what happened. So she was like, just clean it up real quickly because here comes your father. So, I quickly ran into the kitchen, grabbed the controller, and I put it back. And my dad's like, what's going on? I heard noise upstairs. And I'm like, Mom goes, they're just playing games together. So it's nothing. And my dad's like, and he goes back upstairs. So that's kind of like, never dare someone to kick you because you won't realize what you do until later that there's blood coming down your chin.
I guess we're just lucky. We're just lucky, and both of you were just lucky that it was Street Fighter moves that you were copying, right? And not like
Battletoads.
not Battletoads, right? Or Mortal Kombat, right?
Oh, could you imagine? That'd be horrible.
Hey, throw a Van Damme spear at my face and see what happens.
Or a spirit bomb.
Right.
But no, I mean, I think they were kind of evil, but it happens.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say that story was definitely worth it.
You got water in your eyes, Chris.
I know I do, my friend. I know I do. But I survived, and I'm still not having any beverages.
That's good. Let's wrap it up.
Oh my goodness. The worst part about that mango one is it sticks to your teeth.
Yeah, it sticks to your tongue and everything, and you can't get
the other one you can at least cheat, right? And you can like chew swallow.
Yeah.
This one, it's like you chew, and the more you chew, the more it's like caking itself onto your, like literally where my teeth meet my lips and everything, because you know how your lips like touch the back of your lips touch the front of your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
The back of my lips burn from the front of my teeth touching them from having bitten chunks of the beef jerky off there.
So have you thought about what your tummy's gonna be like when you wake up? Because you have to sleep on that. So when you wake up,
no, I should be fine. Generally, I process this stuff okay. I always definitely sweat when it's hot enough, and I'm certainly sweating now.
So wait till later when you got.
Sometimes I'll turn red. I never, so far, even with the Carolina Reaper chip, I never really pay the penalty in the processing. So yeah. I must have blast processing.
Usually it's a season.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna be blasting later.
I thought you'd appreciate that one.
By the way, fans, if you have anything else hot you want us to try, tell us and we'll try to get a hold of it.
Oh yeah. That was. I gotta say, to date, definitely. The Carolina Reaper is the hottest thing I've ever had.
I take you to a place out here. It's called Dead Taco. I say I take you over here.
I honestly don't know if I'd ever eat another Carolina Reaper again.
Oh, I'll grow on them too.
Okay, then I guess I will.
I'll say you want to make a salsa out of it.
Don't they make some really spicy Texas peppers? Have you tried those yet?
No. You gonna send us some, Lizzie?
You sent us some. We'll eat them.
I got to do some research to see which ones are the spiciest.
Yeah. All three of it. Would you eat them too on the show?
Well, my mom does make those fresh salsas herself, so I'll see.
There we go. All right, folks. Shadow of the Colossus came out last week. Also, Under Night In-Birth Exe Late ST came out.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday. Today, I was supposed to get my copy of Wonder Boy and the Dragon Curse, but it said it was out for delivery, but it has not arrived yet. So, but that was available in physical for the Nintendo Switch today. So, I've already been playing it on the Xbox One. It's a great game. I love how you can switch between the old graphics and the new graphics. The new graphics are totally wonderful. It's a really good platformer, so they did a really good job with the HD remake and the visuals there. So some really great games this generation. So you know, try not to fight over it, my friends, because you know Lizzie tells you like people lives get broken, hearts get broken, couches get destroyed. So all right, folks, I have been your host, DashV, and hopefully I will survive the heat of this until next week when I will see you again. So take care.
Good night.